Hi, I'm Anthony Staten with Professional CDL Training LLC. Today, we're going to be discussing the 2024 Class A Modernized Pre-Trip Inspection. We're going to be doing the exterior today. All right, first thing we're going to check here is our clearance lights. We're going to make sure that our clearance lights are securely attached, no broke, loose, or missing any pieces, proper color, which is amber, and they are clear and clean. We'll then proceed to come down. We're going to talk about our headlight assembly. Our headlight assembly is securely attached, no broken, loose, or missing parts. And the proper color is amber, and it is clean and clear. Next, we're going to move to the side of the vehicle and work our way down the driver's side of the tractor and the trailer. We'll then move to the inside of the engine compartment. Starting with our engine coolant, we're going to make sure that our engine coolant has proper fluid level and that it is between minimum and full. Also, we're going to make sure that we don't have any leaks. And if we had leaks, you will notice that it could be on the engine compartment or the engine itself, or there could be puddles on the ground. Next, we'll then move over to our air hoses. Okay, we'll check our air hoses on this side and on that side of the vehicle to make sure that they are secured and that there are no leaks. Next, we'll then proceed to move to our oil dipstick. We would tell the examiner how it works, that we would pull the oil dipstick out and check it for proper fluid level, again, to make sure that it is between add and full, or minimum and full. Next, we'll then proceed to come and talk about our upper steering linkage. It is securely attached, no broken, loose, or missing parts. You will notice it's attached via the U-joints here and down below. We'll also talk about our power steering fluid. We'll check to make sure that it has the proper fluid level, which is going to be between add and full. Next, we'll go to our lower steering linkage. Our lower steering linkage is securely attached, no broken, loose, or missing any parts. You know it's secured because it's going to be attached here with the nuts and bolts. It's going to be attached down here with the castle nut and cotter pin here, and then we'll have a castle nut and cotter pin here. Again, no broken, loose, or missing parts, and secured. We'll then proceed to come to our steering gearbox, which is secured, no broken, loose, or missing any parts, and no leaks. We'll also talk about our hoses. For example, the one that's coming out of the steering gearbox is securely attached and no leaks. We'll check that hose also along with other hoses throughout the engine compartment on this side and the other side. We'll then proceed to come down. We'll talk about our leaf spring. Our leaf spring is mounted in the front, the center, and the rear. It's mounted in the front with what we call leaf spring mounts or leaf spring hangers. They are securely attached, no broke, loose, or missing any parts. And again, here we have a U-bolt in the center. Next, we'll talk about our shock absorber. Our shock absorber is securely attached and there are no leaks, no broken, loose, or missing any parts. Next, we'll then move to our brake chamber hose. It's securely attached, no leaks, and it's not worn or any abrasions. All right, we're looking down here. We're checking our brake shoes or our brake linings to make sure that there is no contaminants such as grease or debris. Okay, then we'll then proceed to move up to our steer tires. On our steer tires, we want to make sure that the tread depth is 4/32. And if we're checking our tread depth, we're going to make sure that we use a tire gauge, okay, a tread depth gauge. Also, we're going to check to make sure that we have no cuts and or bulges on the inner and outer walls of our tires. Come down here, we're going to check our rim. Rim is securely attached. No illegal welds, okay? Our lug nuts, we want to make sure that our lug nuts are securely attached, no broken, loose, or missing any parts. Also, we want to make sure that we can check to make sure that there are no shiny metal shavings or no brown rust trails, which could indicate that the lug nuts may be loose. We'll then proceed to move to our valve stem. It's securely attached, no broken, loose, or missing any parts. And if we're checking for air pressure, we would use a tire gauge. Next, we're going to check our mirrors. We're going to check our mirrors to make sure that they are securely attached, no broken, loose, or missing any parts. We'll then come down, talk about our marker indicator light, making sure that it is secured, no broken, loose, or missing any parts, and that its proper color is amber, and it's clean and it's clear. We'll then proceed to come to our battery box. We're going to make sure that our battery box is secured, no broken, loose, missing any parts, and that it is strapped down correctly. Also, when we check the actual battery itself, we're going to make sure that the actual cables are connected to the post. They're secured, and there is no corrosion that's on the electrical post. We will then proceed to move to our DEF fluid. We're going to make sure that our DEF fluid, the actual tank itself, is securely attached, no broken, loose, or missing any pieces. We're going to make sure that the cap is secure. We're going to make sure that it has the proper fluid level, that is between minimum and add as well. Okay. Also, we're going to make sure that there is no condensation on the outside. That'll then lead us to the actual diesel fuel tank. The diesel fuel tank will make sure that the straps are securely attached, no broken, loose, or missing any parts. Make sure that the cap is secure. Make sure that we have no leaks, looking for puddles on the ground. And again, we're going to make sure that the proper fluid level is inside of our tanks again. Okay, we want to check our electric and airline connections to the tractor. So we'll start here with our electric. We're going to check our pigtail to make sure it's securely attached, no broken, loose, or missing any parts. On the pigtail, they have this latch that you can check to make sure that it is secured. Also on the end of the pigtail, there are 7 pins that you should make sure that they're secured and there's no broken, loose, or missing any pins. We'll then proceed to come down, take a look at this is our blue airline. This is for our service brakes. We're going to check to make sure that it is secured and that there are no leaks. Here, we're going to come to our airline. The red airline is for the trailer/emergency airline. Again, it is secured and not worn, and no air leaks. Yep. Here, we're going to check our red glad hand, which again represents our trailer/emergency airline. We're going to make sure that it is securely attached, no broke, loose, or missing any pieces. And again, we're going to check right up in here is where our seal is. We want to make sure that our seals are intact because you can have a leak here. Next, we'll do our frame. We're going to make sure that our frame is securely attached. There's no broke, loose, or missing any parts. And more importantly, there are no illegal welds. Starting at the top of the trailer, we'll check our clearance lights to make sure that they're securely attached, no broke, loose, or missing any parts, and that they are clean. They are also proper color, which is amber. We're going to be checking our reflective tape going down the side of our trailer. Again, making sure that it is securely attached and none is missing. Our actual frame of the trailer itself, securely attached, no broken, loose, missing any parts, and no illegal welds. All right. We're going to continue here with our coupling system. Starting at the top is going to be our trailer apron. We want to make sure that our trailer apron is secured and that it's not broke, loose, or missing any parts. Connected to the trailer apron, you can't see it, will be the kingpin. You would have to go around and underneath to look, but you would want to make sure that the kingpin is securely attached, no damage, and there's no broken, loose, or missing any parts. Next, you'll take a look at your locking jaws. Your locking jaws will latch around the shank on the kingpin, making sure that your locking jaws are secured. There's no broken, loose, or missing any parts. Here on the outside, we can see we have a trailer release arm, making sure that it is secured, no broken, loose, or missing any parts. Also, we want to make sure that there is no daylight between the top of the apron and the top of the fifth wheel. There should be no daylight, and that it is properly lubricated. Next, fifth wheel assembly, fifth wheel attached to the lower assembly. Again, it is securely attached via a nut and bolt or a cotter pin. We'll then come down, take a look at our slider locking pins to make sure that they're securely attached. There's no broken, loose, or missing any parts. Then we'll come down and talk about our fifth wheel assembly attachment to the frame. Again, making sure that it's securely attached, no broken, loose, or missing any parts. We have to also make sure and check that our fifth wheel is positioned far enough up so that when you make turns that it doesn't interfere with the landing gear and support. Also, when you're checking your landing gear and support, you want to make sure that it is securely attached. There's no broken, loose, or missing any parts. Your handle is up and properly stowed, and your shoes, again, are all the way raised up. Again, securely attached, no broken, loose, or missing any parts. Okay. We're going to proceed to check our marker indicator light to make sure that it is secured, no broken, loose, or missing any parts, and that it is cleaned. Also remember, you also want to check to see if you have any other clearance lights that may exist in the middle and to the end of your trailer. Again, to check to make sure that they're secure, no broken, loose, or missing parts as well. This trailer doesn't have them, but some other trailers may. Our tandem release, it can either be a tandem release arm or in this case, a tandem release button. We're going to check to make sure that our devices are either securely attached and that there's no broken, loose, or missing any parts. Here, we're going to check our ABS indicator light to make sure that it is securely attached, no broken, loose, or missing any parts, and the proper color is amber. Here we have a clearance light. It's secured, no broken, loose, or missing any parts, and it is also clean. Both items are clean and clear. We'll proceed to move around to the top, and we're going to check our clearance lights again to make sure that they're securely attached. No broken, loose, missing any parts. The proper color on these are actually red. Going to come here, check our reflective tape, make sure that it is secured and attached all the way across. We're also going to come and check our lenses, our reflective lights in our lenses, to make sure that they're securely attached. No broken, loose, or missing any parts. Clean, clear, and at the proper color, which is red. Again, our reflector tape down here, securely attached, goes all the way across. Whatever we do to this side of the trailer, we're going to do to that side of the trailer. That concludes our pre-trip inspection for today. Please keep in mind that when you are studying for your pre-trip inspection, that not all tractors and trailers are the same. You will find that some parts are in different places and that you would just need to become very familiar with the tractor and the trailer that you are studying for and are testing with. Thank you. If you need any other information, please reach out to Professional CDL Training LLC, or you can go out to our website, procdl.net.